Hello and welcome to this episode of the Business Spotlight. Today we are joined by Catherine. Hiya, Catherine.
Hi, nice to be here.
Thank you so much for joining us today. So, for those of you watching for the first time, what is the Business Spotlight? I hear you say. So, the Business Spotlight is an opportunity for us to meet business owners, talk to them about their business, find out a bit more about what they do, and some of the trials and tribulations of what their business has sort of meant to them over the years. So, if you're new in business, or if you're a seasoned pro, or even if you're just starting out on that entrepreneurship journey, you're in the right place. So, Catherine, if you can just kick things off for us by letting the audience know who you are, what you do, and how long you've been doing it for.
Thank you very much. So my name is Catherine Payne and my company is called Flower and Stone Garden Design. And I have been in the horticultural design industry for around, I would say, 13 years, in a nutshell.
Wow, 13 years. Fantastic. Okay, so right, well, within that time then, Catherine, what would you say makes you different to anyone out there doing something similar with the gardens and the designing?
Okay, so I think what makes me different is I really do have a close focus on client or customer satisfaction and giving the client the best experience that they can have. From my previous work in London in professional services, we had to uphold quality and service our clients to such a high standard that I've carried that through to my current work. And it's something I pride myself in.
Fantastic. That's really good and a great share because I think it's so important, isn't it? That all important customer focus and satisfaction.
Yeah, yeah.
Fantastic.
I really try and go the extra mile. And I try, I really spend time with clients. I really listen to them and understand exactly what they want. So the service that we give is, a top service, and they go away feeling totally satisfied and getting excellent value for money.
Brilliant. That's a great share. Thank you so much again for that, Catherine. So, what would you say if I was to give you, I don't know, a bit of time to just give us a whistle-stop tour of your business, why you started it, the journey so far, and just bring us up to date to where you are with it now?
Okay, so it's quite an interesting history to it. So I finished working in the city and I had my children, and then while they were growing up, I decided that I needed to go and get some work. But I needed something really that fitted around my children because I had three children under the age of 5.
Wow.
So I started off by doing garden maintenance because I loved gardening. I loved being outside. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I loved meeting people. And I kind of missed meeting different people while I was bringing up the kids. So I retrained in horticulture. So I got my RHS level 3 diploma in horticulture from Shuttleworth College, which is in Bedfordshire. So that took me 2 years, and that was really in depth. And then I carried on doing my garden maintenance work, and I started doing planting design, and I really enjoyed that. So I went to Capel Manor College in Enfield and did my level 3 diploma in garden design. So when I finished that, I was a fully fledged garden designer. So that was about 5 years ago. So I've been focusing on garden design since, and that's now my sole focus.
Wow, what a journey so far, and
Yeah,
sounds
so
pretty intense with some of the learnings there as well.
yeah, it was. I mean, we had exams, so it was revision, for weeks on end before the exam. So we had exams with the RHS course, the horticulture course, um, and the garden design course. There were assessments, there were projects to do, so it was quite intense. So 4 years total for both.
Wow.
A
Well,
lot
that's
of
a great
learning.
share. Thank you so much for that. I'm sure that's going to resonate with a lot of our viewers and listeners. So thank you very much. So, Catherine, I mean, you've brought us up to speed now. So what would you say, what are you looking at for the future? What's the plans over the next year or so? And what do you think are going to be some of your main challenges?
So I think the challenges are keeping up with demand, and that's a great place to be. But it's really, as a one person business at the moment, it's really being able to keep on top of the work, and I'm doing all of the admin as well. I'm doing all the invoicing, quotes and invoicing. So it's really keeping on top of that and maintaining the quality service that I like to give to my clients. So basically it's workload. But having said that, I do have people that I can call upon to help me at times. I have another garden designer who I'm close friends with, actually, and she has helped me out in the past, so I can call on her to help out. And through networking groups, we have virtual assistants, and we can call upon them to help out at times when it's very busy. So I'm not too worried, but I think that will be a challenge.
Yeah, no, that's brilliant. And I think, surrounding yourself with a great network is always so important. I often talk
Absolutely.
about having good communities and support structures around you.
Absolutely, yeah, and I'm lucky to have that. Yeah, several good networking groups,
Fantastic.
yeah, and it's helped massively, really helped massively.
Ah, that's really good. So, I mean, what's the vision then? So, what's the plans for the next year or so?
So for next year, I can see larger projects, um, and what else can I see? Larger projects, and hopefully working with some architects as well. I think that's my aim, is to forge some strong relations with architects, and then perhaps when they're designing houses, extensions, etc., then me stepping in and doing the gardens for those properties. I think that's quite an exciting venture to think about. So I'm at the moment getting in contact with different architects and focusing on that.
Fantastic. Well, you never know, Catherine. There might be some architects watching or listening today. So, you never know. If there are, get in touch with Catherine, guys.
Yeah, brilliant. Thank
So,
you.
Catherine, so moving on to yourself then, as the business owner, what
Yeah.
would you say over the sort of period of time you've been running the business has been your biggest lesson today?
Um, I think learn as much as you can from other people and listen to other people's experience. Always find out what other people think and get feedback. I think that's a really good thing to do. I wouldn't say I didn't do that at first when I started out, but I find myself doing it a lot more now. So I think that's something that I really sort of keep in my mind all the time.
Yeah, I think that's another great share. I think it's key and it's important as well, isn't it, to not only sort of listen to the advice, but also asking for the help. I know you mentioned earlier about having a support structure around you, and I think it's great to have that support structure, but you can't sort of like not tap into it. So, in other words, don't be afraid to ask for help.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. That's it. Yeah,
Brilliant.
and other people have often got really good points of view, and really good ideas for how you can solve any problems. So it doesn't necessarily have to relate to your industry. It can be, you can get ideas from anywhere, and sometimes it can surprise you, can't it, at how someone else can
Absolutely.
come up with a great idea.
Exactly that. Yeah, no, that's another great share. Thank you, Catherine. So, Catherine, we're going to go back in time. We're going to have an opportunity to travel back in time and we're going to get to speak to an 18-year-old Catherine.
Oh dear.
So, what that
Oh
means
my
is
goodness.
you get to give yourself
Yeah.
one piece of advice, one golden nugget. What would it be?
So I did think about this actually recently, and I would say go ahead and do something that you're interested in doing and that you enjoy, and focus on it, and don't let anyone else put you off what you want to do and what you enjoy doing. And if you do it and you enjoy it, everything else I think will come with it. Success, um, and whatever you want will come with it in time. And it's just keeping at it, isn't it? But always do something you enjoy.
Wow, that's a great piece of advice. If only we were able to travel back in time, huh?
Yeah, and sometimes it's difficult for people to do that. There are things that mean that you have to do a certain job, or you have to get a certain job. Um, but I think in an ideal world, do what you enjoy. I
Yeah,
think.
I think, yeah, that's a key piece of advice, and I'm sure it's going to resonate with a lot of our viewers and listeners today. So that's another great one. Thank you, Catherine. So, obviously, being a creative type and very passionate about what you do, what is it that really inspires you to do what you do and puts that fire in your belly to do what you do every day, every week, every month?
Okay. Well, apart from seeing the results, I think I always get a real kick out of winning new business and engaging with a new client. it really, really does inspire me. And the moment that I get, an acceptance of a quote from a client, that it's a happy moment every time, and that keeps me working, keeps me motivated, makes me want to get up in the morning. And literally, sometimes I do jump out of bed and I think, I've got that thing to do today, or that nut to crack, and that's what really motivates me. Every time I get a blank piece, blank canvas with a garden, I find that really motivating. Although it's kind of, where do you start? I just love the creation side of it, of looking at a garden as a blank canvas and coming up with something that's really unique and the client will be delighted with. So that's what
Wow.
motivates.
Yeah, that sounds amazing. I mean, that's another great share. I think, it sounds to me like you've definitely found your purpose and you definitely found your calling as well, because to have that much joy from your job is great, especially like, running your own business. So yeah, that's a really great share, Catherine. Thank you so much for that.
Yeah, I love it. Absolutely love it.
So, I mean, just to wrap things up then, because people are going to want to find out more, not only about you, your business, but, some shares that you've had today have been phenomenal. So if someone wanted to find out more, what's the best way for them to get in touch with you?
So I have my website, which is www.flowerandstone.net. So there's a lot of information on there. My contact details are on there. It's currently being updated, actually, so it should be going live with the updates in about a week's time. So there's a submission form on there too that people can fill in and contact me, and a phone number.
Wow, fantastic. Well, that works out perfectly then. So by the time this podcast goes out, people will be able to get in touch. So watch out for the influx.
It's like, great.
Catherine, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on the podcast today. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much for having me.
No, it's been brilliant. It has. Absolute pleasure. So, and for anyone listening and watching today, that's a wrap. That is the Business Spotlight, and we'll see you all again very soon. Bye for now.